Okay, so Blocksi step 2, we're going to be at the teacher's account here. In the upper left, you've got 3 lines. That's going to take you back to this dashboard. So does the Blocksi teacher dashboard button. On the bottom left, you've got show or hide the schedule of upcoming classes. Right now, we don't have any. We could create a class. We can import classes from Clever. And we can view any conference recordings, which we'll talk about in a little while later. Any classes will show up like thumbnails, sort of like Google Classroom. So what we're going to do is hit import classes from Clever. We've got some classes we can bring over. So we're just going to bring over some classes and press OK. It's going to tell us our imports have been successful, and now I have some classes to tinker with. It's got a standard 45-minute time frame, but you can change that. We can hover over classes, and on this tab, what we can do is we can delete classes. We can see class history, which this is a really neat button because it will show all the data available for every session that class is run right from this tab. Very easy to get reports. Any recordings that have been done in terms of conference recordings can be done here. You can schedule the class here, and then it's got a code as well. So let's take a look at what happens when we click on a class. So we're going to go to Success. Once you're in a class, it will basically pull up any student. It will initially have a blue block on it because the class isn't started yet. So the class not being started is the key indicator here. So I'm going to try and look at some of the buttons. So at the top, you've got the class name, the default time, and then you can keep the policy on the next session. And if you go all the way across to this little pencil, you can change the stuff on that. So for example, if you wanted to knock the time up or down, if you wanted to put a particular policy in place, you could do that. Now, if you go over a little bit further, this is to group students into breakouts. So you can create a new one, create a group name, and pick students to go into that breakout and start those breakout rooms. This is where you can add a second teacher. This is where you could manually add a student. Now, at this point, I wouldn't try that too much because the chances are that you could end up messing something up with the Clever import. But at the top, you've got the ability to edit various parts of that class. 2, you've got the block pages where you can input and add blocked pages. You've got allowed pages, places where you can put allowed pages. You can block or allow the domain, and then if you drop this down, it just kind of shows you the blocked URLs or the added URLs. You can save it. You can make a different list and load that list pre-made. And that is the top section of a particular class. To get back, you can just hit Teacher Dashboard. That takes you back to the dashboard. To get back to the class, you can click on it and you can see that. So in our next little video, we're going to walk you through some of the buttons in a live class.